Hey kids, I am so glad to be back with you today to read another book, another Berenstain Bears book called Forget Their Manners. But before I dive into the book, I just wanted to introduce you to some of my friends who joined me today. This is Bandit the raccoon. He's one of my favorite. But here is my all-time favorite. This is Waddles. He waddles. He's a penguin. He waddles when he walks. Oh, Hooty Hoot is also one of my faves, although I don't remember his name. His head actually doesn't turn. But those are my friends, and of course Chocolate Charlie joined us, which of course, Chocolate Charlie. But maybe you can snuggle up in your bed or in a beanbag with all of your stuffed animal friends, and I can't wait to jump into the Berenstain Bears Forget Their Manners. Oh, you know this could be bad, right? Forgetting your manners? Have you ever forgotten your manners? Man, it's important to say please and thank you. It's really honoring to the people around you. Berenstain Bears, they forgot. There was trouble in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road deep in bear country. Trouble with manners. The bear family's trouble with manners was they forgot them. At first, it was just an occasional please or thank you that was forgotten. Then there was a rude push without an excuse me. Then a reach across the table instead of a please pass the broccoli. Do you guys like broccoli? Mama Bear wasn't quite sure how it happened or why it happened, but she was sure of one thing. Whatever the reason, the bear family had become a pushing, shoving, name-calling, ill-mannered mess. Silly head, fuzz brain, noodle pants. At the table, it was even worse. They were a grabbing, mouth-stuffing, food-fighting, kicking under the table, super mess. Of course. Mama Bear tried to correct Brother and Sister Bear's behavior. She tried coaxing. She tried complaining. She tried shouting. She tried going to Papa for help, though it sometimes seemed to Mama that he was part of the problem. Papa banged on the table and shouted as only he could shout, but nothing really seemed to do any good. Mama did not like what was happening to her family, not one bit. Something had to be done, but what? The best way to fight bad habits, she thought, was with good habits. Then she thought of a plan. She got a big piece of cardboard and a marker. At the top she wrote, "The Bear Family Politeness Plan." When the plan was finished, she called a family meeting and showed it to Papa and the cubs. I wonder what they're gonna think of this politeness plan. Look at this side. Rudeness. Here are all the rude things they'd been doing. Forgetting to say please and thank you, pushing or shoving, interrupting, name calling, all the way to hogging the bathroom. And then on this side it said, the penalties. Sweeping the front steps or beat 2 rugs. Do any of you beat rugs anymore? I didn't know that was still a thing. Clean the cellar. That's another way of saying clean the basement. Clean the yard, weed garden, empty garbage, put out trash. Whoo! So I guess if you're rude, there's a penalty that goes along with it. Mama's plan had a list of all the rude things she wanted to stop. Besides, each one was a penalty, a job or chore that went with it. If you forgot a please or a thank you, you had to sweep the front steps. If you shoved or pushed, you had to beat 2 rugs. If you got caught name calling, you had to clean the whole cellar. That's 1950s for basement. But Mama, sputtered the cubs, you're not being fair. Oh, it seems to me, she said, that you're the ones not being fair to yourselves or anyone else. That's what manners are all about, being fair and being considerate. Manners are very important. They help us get along with each other. Why, without manners, you're absolutely right, Mama, interrupted Papa. Oh, thank you, Papa, for your comment, but interrupting is number 3 on the rude list, and the penalty is dusting the downstairs, Mama said, and handed him the feather duster. Said Brother Bear. This looks serious. I think we'd better come up with a plan of our own, or we're going to be doing a lot of extra chores. What sort of plan? Asked Sister. Well, he said, instead of just being polite, we'll be super polite. We'll please and thank you so much that Mama will get fed up and call the whole thing off. Yes, said Sister. We'll be so polite that she won't be able to stand it. They put their plan into action. They were super polite on the stairs. Oh, after you, Sister dear. Oh, thank you, dear brother. In the hall. Excuse me, brother dear. Oh, why certainly, my dear sister. Waiting for the bathroom. Oh, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Oh, think nothing of it, my dear. They are being sugar sweet. But it didn't work the way they expected. Mama didn't get fed up at all. And after a while, brother and sister forgot about being super polite and were just polite. At the table, pass the honey, please. Oh, certainly. In their room. Would you like me to help you pick up your toys? Oh, thank you very much. In the yard. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. Oh, that's all right, no harm done. And it turned out that Mama had been right. Things did go more smoothly. Once they got into the good manners habit, they didn't even have to think about it. But it wasn't so easy for Papa. He's the one who got fed up. It's a little harder to change habits when you're older, and he had to do quite a few extra chores for forgetting his manners. I'm glad to get out of the house, away from that politeness plan, he said as he drove the family along the highway on a trip to the supermarket. Manners and courtesy are just as important away from home, especially on the road, said Mama as they stopped at a stop sign to let pedestrians and other cars pass. They help us drive safely. Well, grumbled Papa, as they all went into the busy supermarket, I think you can have too much of a good thing. You've got to have common sense along with manners. Why, if you let everyone go ahead of you at the checkout, you'd be in line forever. And sometimes you have to interrupt. Oh, excuse me, madam, he interrupted a shopper, but I believe you have a leaking bottle in your cart. The shopper thanked him for his help. Maybe he's got a point. You see, he said driving home, there's more to life than remembering your manners. Besides, manners are all right for cubs and mama bears, but we Papa Bears have other things to think about. At that moment, the car in front stopped suddenly, and Papa bumped into it. He was furious. Why, that pinhead fiddle brain, he snarled. Name calling, reminded Sister. I'm sure she said it respectfully. Name calling. The penalty for name calling was cleaning the whole cellar. So Papa gritted his teeth and remembered his manners. And a good thing too, because climbing out of the other car was the biggest, angriest bear that he'd ever seen. But when the angry bear saw how polite Papa was, he remembered his manners too. He explained that he had stopped short because a mama duck and her ducklings had crossed in front of him. Then he and Papa Bear looked at their bumpers and saw that no harm had been done. As I was saying, said Papa, as they continued on their way, it's very important for us to remember our manners at all times. And I want to thank you, Sister, for reminding me to remember mine. Oh, you're very welcome, I'm sure, said Sister Bear politely. I love the Berenstein Bears. I don't know about you guys, but they remind me so much of my own family sometimes. Sometimes we just forget the basics of being polite and patient and kind to each other. And you know what? That's the very thing that Jesus wants us to be to our family. He wants us to love Him, love God with our whole heart and mind and soul and strength. And He wants us to love our neighbors as ourselves. And we don't not like ourselves, do we? No, we love ourselves. We want to be treated well, so do to others the way you would like for them to treat you, even if they don't do the same. So that is what the Berenstain Bears are telling us today. I love this book, and I love you guys. Hey, thanks for listening, team. Oh, they're still very wide-eyed, anticipating something next. But I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed our story, and I'm pretty sure we have another guest book reader next week. So tune in next week this time. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Hey kids! I am so glad to be back with you today to read another book, another Berenstain Bears book called Forget Their Manners. But before I dive into the book, I just wanted to introduce you to some of my friends who joined me today. This is Mr. Raccoon. Look how wide-eyed they are, ready for whatever might come. I forgot his name. Hold on. Oh, here it is. This is Bandit the Raccoon. He's one of my favorites. But here is my all-time favorite. This is Waddles. He waddles. He's a penguin. He waddles when he walks. Oh, Hooty Hoot is also one of my faves, although I don't remember his name. His head actually doesn't turn. But those are my friends, and of course Chocolate Charlie joined us, which of course, Chocolate Charlie, he's my fave. But maybe you can snuggle up in your bed or in a beanbag with all of your stuffed animal friends, and I can't wait to jump into the Berenstain Bears Forget Their Manners. Oh, you know this could be bad, right? Forgetting your manners? Have you ever forgotten your manners? Man, it's important to say please and thank you. It's really honoring to the people around you. Berenstain Bears, they've forgotten. All right, let's dive in. There was trouble in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road deep in bear country. Trouble with manners. The bear family's trouble with manners was they forgot them. At first, it was just an occasional please or thank you that was forgotten. Then there was a rude push without an excuse me. Then a reach across the table instead of a please pass the broccoli. Do you guys like broccoli? Mama Bear wasn't quite sure how it happened or why it happened, but she was sure of one thing. Whatever the reason, the bear family had become a pushing, shoving, name-calling, ill-mannered mess. Silly head, fuzz brain, noodle pants. At the table, it was even worse. They were a grabbing, mouth-stuffing, food-fighting, kicking under the table, super mess. Of course. Mama Bear tried to correct Brother and Sister Bear's behavior. She tried coaxing. She tried complaining. She tried shouting. She tried going to Papa for help, though it sometimes seemed to Mama that he was part of the problem. Papa banged on the table and shouted as only he could shout, but nothing really seemed to do any good. Mama did not like what was happening to her family, not one bit. Something had to be done, but what? The best way to fight bad habits, she thought, was with good habits. Then she thought of a plan. She got a big piece of cardboard and a marker. At the top she wrote, the Bear Family Politeness Plan. When the plan was finished, she called a family meeting and showed it to Papa and the cubs. I wonder what they're going to think of this politeness plan. It certainly got the Bear family's attention. Ooh, look at this side. Rudeness. Here are all the rude things they've been doing. Forgetting to say please and thank you, pushing or shoving, interrupting, name-calling, all the way to hogging the bathroom. And then on this side it said, the penalties. Like sweeping the front steps, or beat 2 rugs. Do any of you beat rugs anymore? I didn't know that was so thing. Clean the cellar, that's another way of saying clean the basement. Clean the yard, weed garden, empty garbage, put out trash. Whew. So I guess if you're rude, there's a penalty that goes along with it. So let's hear what she had to say about it. Mama's plan had a list of all the rude things she wanted to stop. Besides, each one was a penalty, a job or chore that went with it. If you forgot a please or a thank you, you had to sweep the front steps. If you shoved or pushed, you had to beat 2 rugs. If you got caught name-calling, you had to clean the whole cellar. That's 1950s for basement. But Mama, sputtered the cubs, you're not being fair. Oh, it seems to me, she said, that you're the ones not being fair to yourselves or anyone else. That's what manners are all about, being fair and being considerate. Manners are very important. They help us get along with each other. Why, without manners... You're absolutely right, Mama, interrupted Papa. Oh, thank you, Papa, for your comment, but interrupting is number 3 on the rude list, and the penalty is dusting the downstairs, Mama said, and handed him the feather duster. Said Brother Bear. This looks serious. I think we'd better come up with a plan of our own, or we're going to be doing a lot of extra chores. What sort of plan? Asked Sister. Well, he said, instead of just being polite, We'll be super polite. We'll please and thank you so much that Mama will get fed up and call the whole thing off. Yes, said Sister. We'll be so polite that she won't be able to stand it. They put their plan into action. They were super polite on the stairs. Oh, after you, Sister dear. Oh, thank you, dear brother. In the hall. Excuse me, brother dear. Oh, why certainly, my dear sister. Waiting for the bathroom. Oh, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Oh, think nothing of it, my dear. They are being sugar sweet. But it didn't work the way they expected. Mama didn't get fed up at all. And after a while, brother and sister forgot about being super polite and were just polite. At the table. Pass the honey, please. Oh, certainly. In their room. Would you like me to help you pick up your toys? Oh, thank you very much. In the yard. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. Oh, that's all right, no harm done. And it turned out that Mama had been right. Things did go more smoothly. Once they got into the good manners habit, they didn't even have to think about it. But it wasn't so easy for Papa. He's the one who got fed up. It's a little harder to change habits when you're older, and he had to do quite a few extra chores for forgetting his manners. I'm glad to get out of the house, away from that politeness plan, he said as he drove the family along the highway on a trip to the supermarket. Manners and courtesy are just as important away from home, especially on the road, said Mama as they stopped at a stop sign to let pedestrians and other cars pass. They help us drive safely. Well, grumbled Papa. Grumbled Papa, as they all went into the busy supermarket, I think you can have too much of a good thing. You've got to have common sense along with manners. Why, if you let everyone go ahead of you at the checkout, you'd be in line forever. And sometimes you have to interrupt. Oh, excuse me, madam, he interrupted a shopper, but I believe you have a leaking bottle in your cart. The shopper thanked him for his help. Maybe he's got a point. You see, he said driving home, there's more to life than remembering your manners. Besides, manners are all right for cubs and mama bears, but we papa bears have other things to think about. At that moment, the car in front stopped suddenly, and Papa bumped into it. He was furious. Why, that pinhead fiddle brain, he snarled. Name calling, reminded Sister. I'm sure she said it respectfully. Name calling. The penalty for name calling was cleaning the whole cellar. So Papa gritted his teeth and remembered his manners. And a good thing, too, because climbing out of the other car was the biggest, angriest bear that he'd ever seen. But when the angry bear saw how polite Papa was, he remembered his manners, too. He explained that he had stopped short because a mama duck and her ducklings had crossed in front of him. Then he and Papa Bear looked at their bumpers and saw that no harm had been done. As I was saying, said Papa, as they continued on their way, it's very important for us to remember our manners at all times. And I want to thank you, Sister, for reminding me to remember mine. Oh, you're very welcome, I'm sure, said Sister Bear politely. I love the Berenstain Bears. I don't know about you guys, but they remind me so much of my own family sometimes. Sometimes we just forget the basics of being polite and patient and kind to each other. And you know what? That's the very thing that Jesus wants us to be to our family. He wants us to love Him, love God with our whole heart and mind and soul and strength. And He wants us to love our neighbors as ourselves. And we don't not like ourselves, do we? No, we love ourselves. We want to be treated well, so do to others the way you would like for them to treat you, even if they don't do the same. So that is what the Berenstain Bears are telling us today. I love this book, and I love you guys. Hey, thanks for listening, team. Oh, they're still very wide-eyed, anticipating something next. But I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed our story, and I'm pretty sure we have another guest book reader next week. So tune in next week this time. Love you guys. Have a great week.